Welcome back to another episode of Imagine Better, everybody. I'm your host, Mark Powers, and today I am very honored and grateful to have Susie Dahlmann. They're moving by.
22. Thanks for having me here, Mark.
You're welcome.
I'm excited about the opportunity.
I am honored.
Yeah.
Now, before Susie and I got started today, and first time on my show, and I'm going to include it in this episode. She asked if we could pray, and that was beautiful. I absolutely love that.
Grateful. Can we say a prayer before we start?
Absolutely.
You want to do a prayer together?
Please.
Yeah, it'd be great.
How do you want to do it? Yes.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah. So God, we just ask you to be here with us today, and help us to honor you, Lord, and to help this world to be a better place. Lord, more than anything, I know Mark and I want to help people to do the impossible so they can have their best lives. So Lord, just speak through us and have us be here with us. Have this be a divine and amazing conversation where it will support and help others. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Awesome.
Let it rip, Skip.
I love that.
I'm so happy. Hey, prayer is positive thought, right?
Absolutely.
And here what we're doing is positive things. So
yes,
you know,
well, and you have one heck of a story and a journey.
I have had a great journey. I've been very lucky and had a couple opportunities to really grow.
Nice.
In my life. Yeah.
So we have a mutual friend over here.
JoJo Bruce,
yeah,
Better Your Best.
And
she's amazing.
You're in the pages here of this book.
I know. I'm blessed to be in the pages.
I mean, when I met JoJo and she was on my show, it's been a few months now, it was an instant just connection and a lot of synergy and lots of energy, right? Because JoJo is full of juju.
You got that, right?
So,
good juju from JoJo. That's what she always says. She's so much fun and just a ball of energy, and just, you know, every time I'm with her, she makes me better.
Yeah.
Better best.
Yeah, she is a pro because I get messages from her, not every day, but almost every day, and it lifts me up. Like, it really is empowering. And so how did you two become friends? I mean, before we kind of get where you're at today, let's go way back to behind the why of, you know, where you're at. What led you down that path, and who is Susie?
Oh, who is Susie?
Let's start there.
Joe said you were going to ask me that question. Who is Susie? You know,
I want to know the person.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a teacher, teaching, you know.
I think it was second grade back in the day, wasn't it?
Second grade. For 27 years, I taught second grade.
Wow.
You know, a speaker, a trainer, you know, taught leadership course, you know, the Dale Carnegie course. I met Joe there.
Okay.
And, yeah, I've done, you know, and I've been blessed to have great purpose in my life.
Right.
You know, and, you know, great people around me. You know, I just think, you know, I've been really lucky and blessed in my life. I love my work. It gives me such purpose. I just would leap out of my bed. I mean, out of bed every morning to be with my second graders.
Right.
You know, and I felt the same thing after I started reaching higher, you know, because I was, you know, getting outside myself and making a difference for others.
That is beautiful. Yeah. So you were a teacher for 27 years, second graders. I mean, talk about a high energy, you know, a little classroom of individuals, attention spans all over.
Oh my gosh, it's fun, right? It's fun.
Yeah.
You know, and one day on the way to school, I think you might have read about this.
Yes.
A semi truck pulled out in front of my car on my way to school, and I didn't have a seatbelt on.
Oh no!
Sent me through the windshield of my car, and you know what? I wasn't. You know, I in that accident, I felt like I was going up a long tunnel.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt like I left my body, and I felt a hand push me back down, and I woke up in the hospital, and they told me I was severely. The first thing I heard was a doctor over me after 9 hours of being in a coma, and he said, "You're severely brain damaged."
Oh no.
Yeah, so I lived into that story for a long, long time. You know, just so scared that someone was going to find out how dumb I was, and that I would lose my job as a second grade teacher.
Sad that in your own mind that you felt like that.
So much fear. Talk about fear.
Yeah. So what
I was terrified.
I mean, that is absolutely horrible and terrifying, and what a trauma you had to go through in life. I mean, I did do a little research on you. Everyone knows I don't do a lot of research on my guests, intentionally. But you went through this trauma, and then you were kind of afraid, I think, if I remember, going back into it because of that. You weren't sure if you were, come across as the smart teacher you once were. And so you had to retrain yourself, and that's when you said, okay, I need to get confidence again, and that's when you went to Dale Carnegie. Right? Or did I miss something in that journey?
I went back to teach. I was off for like 3 months. And
you did? Okay.
Yeah, and then I went back to teach, and a little boy asked me how to spell because, and I forgot how to spell because.
Right.
And a little girl asked me how to tie her shoes, and my hands fumbled. And so, I was afraid I was going to lose my teaching job, which was my whole life.
Yeah.
To be with those kids, right? So, I thought, okay, I'm going to do everything I can to get better and get stronger. So I started running, I ran every day, I ate really well, I started meditation.
Yeah.
I ended up finding a great meditation teacher and started to meditate. That helped a lot because I would lose my vision. And just feel, how you get up some days and just feel like you got your head on backwards.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was dizzy a lot. So anyway, I was not in good shape.
No, I mean I can't. I mean thank God you're here. If you obviously look where you're at, right? You turned out amazing. This amazing human, very inspiring. Obviously that could have went a different direction. It wasn't your time. Right? Maybe, who knows? Things happen to all of us for the craziest reasons.
I know, Mark. We never know.
And it's sad to say that might have been in your cards, so to speak. I don't know, but man, I'm so glad
my kids were 10 and 12 at that time.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
Your travel from home to school a short distance? Is that why you didn't wear your seatbelt?
Yeah, and back then, a lot of people didn't buckle up.
Yeah.
I had a little Scirocco sports car. I liked sports cars. So,
Oh, man.
It's just,
and this person just pulled right out and off you go.
Yeah. I had glass coming out of my head for like 4 years, I think.
Wow.
Anyway, you know what? I started to meditate. I met some, a lady said, you should take the Dale Carnegie course, to get self-confidence back. I did. I won the highest award for achievement in that class. In my classroom, I thought, one time after the kids had left the classroom, I wrote a heart on my hand. And I thought, you know what? I might not be the smartest, but I can love those kids.
That's beautiful right there. And you know what? There's another individual that right there just reminded me of. She was a guest on the show, and she's a new friend, Johnny Woods.
Okay.
And Johnny, on her, I think it was her left hand, Johnny, keep me honest, she has a tattoo because of that reason. She had a tattoo of a heart. And that right there just reminded me of that. And there was something that was special to her that she went and had a tattoo to show that she
I might get a tattoo
love.
and do that.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool? It's a good idea.
Johnny Woods. There you go, Johnny. And I'm pronouncing your first name right, finally.
Got it.
So, that's a beautiful story.
The kids had left the classroom and I was quiet. And I thought, okay, I can do this.
Right.
I can do this. And so that's when I wrote, it just came to me, through the Spirit to write it on my hand. And then that year I got Teacher of the Year.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
So I started little by little gaining confidence in myself and, wanting to do. I started, one of my real good dear friends, Linda Hannaford, was a meditation teacher with Deepak Chopra.
I read something on that you traveled with him.
I did. I went to India for a month with him, and we did many seminars around the United States with her. And,
wow.
Yeah, so it was in my meditation time that I saw a hand go up to heaven, and it said, higher, reaching higher, bring God's love to the children.
Now, if that's not a sign, I don't know what to tell you, right?
I never thought about it. I had taken some time off and wasn't sure about what I was going to do, and that's when I went away up to the mountains in upstate New York. My meditation teacher had a cottage up there, and I spent 2 weeks in solitude. And at the end of those 2 weeks, I was on the beach, and that's when it came.
How did that? Okay, because that 2 weeks in solitude. Can you imagine most of us in today's world and how complex life is in itself to disappear for 2 weeks and not have access to your phone? I'm guessing you shut down.
I don't think I had a phone back then.
Okay.
iPhone or anything.
There was that long ago then? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then they didn't have those. But can you imagine nowadays someone trying to do that?
No.
As you mentioned when you came into it, I've been doing some meditation myself. But 2 weeks of solitude, I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sitting here going, well, maybe I can imagine better. I have a hard enough time when I do mine in between workouts, like in between one of my resting phases, I told you. Yeah. So I'll sit there. So how...
There's no good or bad time to do it. You're doing it. That's great.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, be gentle with yourself and just know it's just, just you can do whenever you want.
You can sit at your desk and meditate.
Yeah.
Close your eyes, clear your mind, and...
I got here a couple minutes early and meditated.
Beautiful.
So...
So you went on a 2 week up in the mountains.
Yeah, because I felt in my meditations I was feeling something come through me.
Okay.
And I didn't know what it was, so I thought, okay, maybe I went down to the inner city. I thought maybe I was going to be a minister down there.
Really?
Yeah, and so wasn't sure, and so I thought, okay. I sent my kids to camp that summer, so I thought I could go for a little retreat. So I went there, and I just thought, maybe I'll find out what it is.
Right.
What I'm supposed to do.
That's interesting.
So that was over 30 years ago.
Wow.
Reaching higher. Came back, and didn't know anything about what to do with it.
Right. I sat. His name.
Yeah, I called all my friends that were also leadership coaches and teachers.
Right.
And we gathered in my best friend's living room. And there was like 5 or 6 of us, and I said, okay, what can we do? What would be really empowering for people? And hey, negative beliefs, fear. So we put together a curriculum. Started out. I had an office, and I never had anybody to call. I sat at my desk, and I didn't have anybody to call. But it was on Hope Street.
Get out.
No, I found an office on Hope Street.
Yeah, on Hope Street. Come on.
No,
this
honest
is too
to God,
good to be true.
It's right down the street actually from
that
where
is
we are
brilliant.
now.
That is awesome. I love that.
I felt like God's hand was on me. Yeah.
You're not kidding. Now, at what point did you move your office to Hope Street? Knowing that you were moving to Hope Street, you had hope, I guess, right?
Yeah, my husband had a surprise birthday party, my 50th birthday party for me, and he raised $3,000. And that's how the money I had to start reaching higher with.
Oh, that is
and so I got
nice.
a little loft. It was it's a little.
Yeah,
little.
Yeah.
And I'd sit at my desk, and I didn't have anybody to call. But little by little, we got the first class, I think, that we did. Well, we were doing adults at first, but the first class, and we did some adults in Birmingham. And then we did, my first student class was at Brighton High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, have you been back since?
But I did some classes in the inner city too.
That's nice.
Back then, but we didn't charge. We didn't make any money for like the first, probably 6 or 7 years. We didn't.
Oh, really?
We didn't. Yeah, we
just
didn't
do donations and volunteer work and.
Yeah. My partner dropped off because she said, this isn't working, and we're not making any money, and so I said, okay. She goes, you should quit too. I said, I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to.
No.
So.
From what I just heard, no. I'm glad you stuck it out and saw the bigger vision here and the purpose that you're leading and the lives that you're changing. Come on, Susie. I mean,
14,000 kids now.
Really?
Mm-hmm, yeah. We got the adult program and.
So what's the ages from the youth program until they kind of graduate, if you will, into the next?
Yeah, well, we have
the adulthood, I guess,
schools. In the schools, we're in all the schools in Livingston County now, and other schools. But it's 5th grade.
Yeah.
Middle school, high school.
Oh, that's awesome.
And now adults. With the pros class.
Right.
That's virtual, which can touch a lot of people.
Yeah.
So inside we're all the same age. You know, we all need to be supported and you know, empowered and, you know, help to be our, imagine better.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Be our best selves, right?
Yeah, imagine better and be our best selves.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's for sure.
Be your best.
You know, so
better your best.
When I thought I was going to quit, I went home that night and I had always been reading Norman Vincent Peale's book, The Power of Positive Thinking. And go figure, you know, I took the book that night because I was devastated. You know, I thought, I'm starting to quit. I can't, you know, I don't know if, you know, what to do. I opened the book.
Right.
And there was a story about a guy whose partner quit and he made God his partner. I'm telling you that. That was a wink.
Wow. Wow.
So I thought, okay, we can do this.
That is, yeah, you're very faith-driven. I love that. And that's why I think you are where you're at today. You look out for the big guy. God's like, hey, she's got my back, I have her back, and I'm going to bless her for that. You know? And I think, and then you're touching lives and changing lives. And think about the lives that you've actually had the opportunity to intertwine with that you might not have, that you may never know how much you've impacted that individual. And that's so self-rewarding for me when I think about stuff like that.
I know, I feel
can't
so
imagine.
blessed because I feel like, you know, God got me up. You know, I was so broken after my accident.
Right.
You know, and so no confidence, you know, and just, you know, scared.
Yeah.
Really scared, and I prayed a lot, and, you know, he got me back up on my feet, and then, yeah.
Give you that strength.
Yeah. Then, you know, it was years later that I was home making applesauce, and my daughter called me, and she had a rare cancer.
Oh.
My daughter, Jenny, actually, she made this jacket.
It's beautiful,
She was
by the way.
a designer at the Gap in New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, when she passed away, you know, when she was sick for like 3 years, but when she
Right.
died, I died. That was another time. Mark, I was like,
See, I didn't know about this. I'm so sorry.
you didn't know about this.
No.
Yeah. That was the other defining moment in my life.
So how many years later from your accident to the time you lost her?
Probably about 10
Okay.
years. Yeah. Yep. She always dreamed of being a designer at the Gap, and she lived her dream. She had 2 little kids.
Oh.
You know, she lived in New York. So I left Reaching Higher. At that time, we were only doing 1 class a year.
Okay.
And so my secretary took over, and yeah, so we kept it going. And when I got back is when I had got the first class in Brighton.
Okay.
But you know, I decided that I was going to live for Jenny. You know, help other people for Jenny. So it got me back up on my feet.
Oh my
But
God.
you know,
That's so
yeah,
beautiful. I love that.
She was the love of my life, though. You have kids,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. So I feel for you there, and
Yeah, but
You know,
I feel like
it gave you some additional strength and purpose, I guess.
that's what it is. You know, to have Reaching Higher and to be able to do that, Mark, it gave me purpose. It gave me a reason. My why
Yeah.
was to get up in the morning. And you know what? I remember I couldn't hardly get out of bed, and I got out of bed, and we had 1 class in Detroit. Carolyn Gibson was teaching it, an amazing, you know, teacher in Detroit. And I got up and I went to that class. And, you know, when I'm in the Reaching Higher class or when I'm
Right.
teaching, I don't think about anything about me. So, you know, it was a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I can
so-
imagine.
Yeah, so.
And to have that strength. I mean, obviously you've gone through a lot. You almost lost your own life, and through your faith, you know, it's God's pulled you through this, and your strength to come out on the other side stronger than probably ever. I mean, you're a very confident, you know, positive, inspiring young lady, and I
Well, thank
love
you.
it. You know,
I'm coming back.
You coming back, yeah. I don't think you ever
thanks.
went anywhere. You just kind of
No.
stepped aside for a second in life a couple times. I know I have.
Yeah.
So
we
here
all
you
have.
are, and then you meet this amazing, fabulous person, JoJo.
Yeah.
It's somewhere along in that journey. jumping. Did we miss parts yet, or
No.
At what point does this lovely lady come into your world?
Yeah, well, I had met her earlier in my life, through teaching the leadership course, and but then Joe came back into my life when she wanted to be a part of Reaching Higher.
Yeah.
And we've been teaching it for years, and she really brought a lot of great energy and in the adult class, which we hey, we all need that boost, don't we? And that empowerment and that support and strong people around us and principals. And so, I'm grateful. And, there's great people that are running, the company now and just wonderful, integral people that are there and passionate about it because of the magic that happens in the classroom.
I love it. I love it. So how many individuals like yourself and Joe are out there inspiring and changing and touching lives now under your company? A lot of people. A lot of the people that have donated to us for years. They step in. They have big companies. And they step in to teach because in the class it's confidential.
Right.
And you know what? I always say that the greatest teachers are the students, the kids that teach one another.
Right.
Because you'll tell your story, Mark, and it might touch somebody else who's gone through the same thing.
Right.
But it's a time where we can all be vulnerable and safe and trust each other.
Yeah.
And you walk out stronger every week, and it's an 8-week course. So we've got a lot of people that are, that are professionals that step in to help and mentor kids. You'd be a great mentor for some of the kids. You fall in love with them because they're so great.
Talk about confidence. I'm not there yet. I'll get there.
No, you'd be perfect for it.
You think so?
Yeah, to mentor. Yeah.
We'll have to talk after.
Yeah, well, you'd be great because you care.
I do care, and that's the thing. Is like I do have a big heart.
You do.
I've gone through a lot, and I'm trying not to quit being the victim powers. Pity party powers, I always say that fast.
It's good.
And it's like, I don't want that anymore. And that's when I took a stand, and partly why I started this show was to help me tell my story a little bit over time. Like, I don't come on here to tell my full version yet. In my new book, when I release it, whenever that may be, it's Imagine Better.
Oh, that's the name?
Yep.
Okay.
And Joe and I have been talking about it, and in there, I'm gonna I've shared some pretty dark, deep stuff with Joe on my journey, and I've been depressed. I fought depression for 5 years. Nobody would ever know it.
No
one would ever know it.
That's so many. We never really sometimes get to see the truth about each other, but isn't it freeing when you can share it and you can take a look and know that, hey, the person sitting next to you has the same thing.
Yeah.
And who would know, right?
But for me, Susie, I haven't shared that entirely with the entire story with a lot of people yet. It's easier for me to journal and get it out and try to process, and then I do that, and then I put it into a document, which then I sent to Joe to review. And my intention originally was I was going to start a new speaking series around it. And it's called A Lifetime to Erase.
Wow.
And I will share it with you today. I'll email it to you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Mark.
It's supposed to be, but I don't know if I'm going to release it that way. I do know it's going to be content in my new book because Joe loved it. And she said, Mark, she learned a lot about who I am as a person and why I'm sitting here today doing this.
I know, even that you're doing this is huge. It takes a lot of confidence, and you're facing your fears, but you're making a difference.
That's the goal.
You're having,
I'm hoping we can touch lives.
Hopefully my story can change somebody's life today, and know that I think the things that happen to us are meant to grow us. I think just deepen us, and I know I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't gone through the things that I've gone through.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Or reaching higher. You know what? I look back and I thought, gosh, see, I'm on the last chapter of my life. You're in the middle.
Oh, get out of here.
So I'm just saying, I look back. No, I'm going to make a good one. I look back and I think, if I hadn't gone through the windshield, Reaching Higher would have never had been been birthed.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Because I
For
wouldn't
some
have
crazy, weird way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Maybe that intersection of that truck and you and your life, and I don't know what led you to that moment, but maybe that was a sign. That was a way of God saying, I'm going to shake the shit out of her and get her to look at life a lot different. I don't know. But from that moment on, you became a different person, it sounds like.
Yeah. There's a saying that says, if something happens to you that you could never imagine happening,
right,
trust that God will bring you something you can never imagine having.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that.
Isn't that? I mean, if I find something good like that, I'll just memorize it like that. But I thought,
that is
God
awesome.
took away, my confidence and my brain, and but it gave me reaching higher.
But He didn't take away your brain.
No, it was still there, but
it was there. Obviously, you had to He forced you to think of a way to use it through reaching higher, and now look at you. You're reaching higher. You have this army of people reaching higher because of your idea, your passion, your drive. You have these kids that are growing through life and are reaching higher. And they're gonna remember you for the rest of their lives. They're gonna remember your organization for the rest of their lives. You are building an amazing legacy.
It's so sweet. It's such a privilege, right, to be chosen to do that.
Yeah.
Lucky.
I like how you say that, chosen.
I was chosen to do it.
Yes, you were.
So lucky,
you
right?
were.
And you were chosen to do this.
I think so. I don't know.
And you're chosen.
I feel confident now, more confident now than I did, when I first started this early back in April.
And if you hadn't gone through the things you've gone through, Mark,
this wouldn't be possible.
You wouldn't be helping other people.
No.
So
not this way.
There's a reason, and you've got a great heart.
Yeah, thank you.
I've really listened to a lot of your podcasts, and I was really inspired that I would have the opportunity to meet you and be here today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that means a lot to me.
So keep up the good work.
I'm trying to chug this thing along. The best is yet to come. I do believe that. What it's going to be, I don't know yet. I go, every guest becomes my friend. I stay in touch with them. I try to, this show has brought a new circle of amazing humans into my life. And it's made me reevaluate my old circles.
Yeah.
And not to say that they're bad people. They were just not the right people that I needed or need at the time or now in my life. When I opened up my speech at Disrupt HR last Thursday, I walked on the stage, and I got to thank you, Joe, for this. She's awesome at finding these great quotes and aligning them to my content. And she found a Michelangelo quote that I
love
loved.
Michelangelo.
And it said, I saw an angel in the marble, and I carved until I set him free.
Wow.
So I took that and I said, I interpret this as a way for us all to set ourselves free from things that no longer serve us.
That's it. Because they're all there for a purpose.
Yes.
To learn. You look what I've learned from mine.
Yeah.
And look what my life wouldn't be the same, and neither will yours.
No.
Even though it's the really difficult times.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Getting through it is you learn along the way.
Yeah.
And you meet great people. I'm proud of you for bringing all these great people around you because,
Thank you.
Who we hang around.
I'm trying to do it for these folks that are watching.
That's
whoever
right. That's right.
Some of them are that are finding me on YouTube and other channels. Keep sharing the content, you guys. Thank you. It's a new show. It's a new content, channel. It doesn't have a ton. I think I'm like maybe 1,000 subscribers now on YouTube, and it's growing every day, slowly. And it's not all my fault. Some of it was Google's problem. They shut me down for a minute on advertising.
Where did you get the name Imagine Better?
So
how did that come to you?
Yeah, thank you. So I get frustrated from time to time. I don't know if you guys relate.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was 5 years ago. I started to realize that I was going through a pretty dark depression. And what do us guys do? We're proud, our ego's getting away, and we shove it down. I got this, don't worry about it. I can change, I can do things. And
right.
Nobody's ever going to know. Well, I did that very, very well for a long time. And it made me become this dormant volcano. And then it just started things, setbacks, relationships, failed marriage, failed business ventures, lost friendships. I mean, just it all was the fuel that created this volcanic eruption about 3 years ago. 2 years ago.
Wow, Mark. Wow.
And I couldn't handle it anymore. And unfortunately, there was somebody very close in my life that it ruined us. I mean, relationship-wise. We're still friends to this day and working things out, but that was the eye-opener for me. I started doing drinking a lot heavier, just to numb it all.
Sure.
I didn't take proactive precautions or measures to fix the problem. I just kept saying, I can deal with this. And I kept going and going, and eventually it was out of my control. So I finally, through all of that, had to ask myself, if it's either if I don't go get help, I'm afraid of what the outcome might be.
Yeah, wow.
Like, I wasn't thinking suicidal thoughts.
Right.
But you never know what could have came out of that. I mean, who knows? But
it was dark.
It was really dark. It was bad. So anyway, I started going to therapy. And I'll get to the answer to your question here in a second. So I started going to therapy, and I still go every Tuesday.
Good for you.
And I will always go. It gives me structure, guidance, holds me accountable, gives me strategies.
It's great. Those are all, bringing those strong people around you. That's great.
Yeah. And so eventually, fast forward, a little over a year of going to therapy. I've been there now almost 2 years. I started this in April, so I'll just call it a year and a half of going through therapy. I finally started thinking about it, imagine a better life for myself and my kids. And I was like, wait a minute, imagine better. That's pretty powerful. So I started thinking about it, and because I'm a marketing guy, I go in and I start, I gotta touch and feel it. So I created a brand, a logo.
No, now I got a cup.
Now you have a cup. And then I wrote the format of the show, what I envisioned it to be, and I gave it to Terry Bean. I don't know do you know Terry Bean?
No, I don't. I think is she in Joe's book?
No.
I'm not sure. Okay.
No, but Terry's an amazing person. I always tell him that he's the connector of humans. He connects everybody together.
Must be a great guy.
He's an amazing guy. Very spiritually connected too. So I reached out to him. He's been a good friend of mine for years, somebody I trust and respect, and I said, Terry, will you look at this for me? And he did, and he encouraged me to do it. In fact, he loved it so much that he said, I will be your first guest.
Wow.
So our pilot program, the inaugural pilot of this show, was in my old office. Lighting was terrible. Sound was horrific. Message was spot on beautiful. It was a powerful message. Terry full on delivered. But the quality of the show sucked. But it's still out there. People can go look at it. I'm not going to take it down because of that.
No, it was your first.
It was the very first show, and it just goes through. So anyway, that's how I did it. I was like, there's got to be a better life out there. So I said, if I imagine better, and I started imagining what my life could look like if I surrounded myself with better people, if I made a commitment and stuck to it. If I just did these things, little moments.
Better choices. One moment at a time.
I'm the king of messing that up.
No, what you think about, you bring about, right?
Yeah, you got.
That's great. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel better. I look forward to these days. It's like Tuesdays are my therapy sessions. Wednesday, this is really my therapy session. Yeah. Thursdays are my life coaching with Joe. I mean, it's been a couple weeks with her because of the event and all that took place and getting up to that point of Disrupt HR. But yeah, I'm trying. And being able to be with people like you, Susie, and meeting you, and I know we're going to have a friendship now.
I know I saw that. And I felt that when I saw you and Joe right at the beginning.
Yes, and I will tell you, I'm being serious, and thank you for thinking that I'd be a good mentor. You have my head spinning now. I would love to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
that'd be I don't know what I can contribute or bring, but
you know what?
I'll do whatever I can.
You can contribute you. you know, in your story. You know, it's so powerful when we can sit in a group, you know, and that's what happens in the Reaching Higher class, and all be authentic. And you know what? You end up loving those people more than anything because of what they've gone through. You wouldn't believe the stories and the things that happen. You know, we've got the kids, I mean, you know what? They're such beautiful teachers to one another. You know, and we all have something to give each other, but how many times can you sit in a room with 25 kids in a circle and 5 mentors, so 30 people, 2 teachers, and you know, something? Little by little, the sessions build, and you build trust, and then all of a sudden you're talking about your negative beliefs, how I feel like I'm not good enough, you know, or I'm not strong enough. Everybody has them. And then, you know, you're talking about fear, and then you're talking about positive life choices, you know, how to change your story, that you're the author of your story. Yeah, change the narrative. That's easier said than done. You're changing your story. I am. You know, you're making a difference in other people's life. And, you know, in our world, if we can't imagine better, I mean, I never can imagine the world being the way it is today. Then how do we ever better our best? Right? Yeah. If we can't imagine better... You can't better your best. Can't better your best. I know. So and you're doing something which great. Is a great segue. You're being divinely led, just like I was. I thank you. You are. You know, I do. I feel like I am a faith-driven individual. I'm not. It's in a different, quieter way. Like I have a relationship with God, but it's one very personal. It's a journey that's been personal for me for about 6 years now. 7 years. 7 years. There's no right way. One day I'll share that whole story. Not today, but what intrigues me is that you've gone through the life traumas that you have. You've always been passionate about humans, regardless of size, age, race, religion. You just bundle them together and go, I want to contribute to your awesomeness. And you did that. And then you start reaching higher, right? A big purpose-driven initiative that's truly changing lives. Then you go to Dale Carnegie, then you meet Joe, and then you guys develop this super awesome friendship, lifelong friends. Then she squeezes you in between the pages of this amazing book. I got lucky to be in there. Let's jump into this real quick. Share how that happened. And I actually have read some of the book. I haven't. I'm a terrible reader. Like I love reading. Yeah. But I can't sit there. My attention span goes over. This sit and read a whole book at one sitting. No, or two. Just read one. So I'll read a book, and then I'll go and I'll set it down, and I'll pick up another book, and I'll read bits and pieces, and then I highlight them. My books. Sorry, Joe. I chalked up your book. My book's highlighted. So I do that. That's good. Yeah. That's great. So how did this happen? You know. Well, Joe, this was Joe's dream, you know, and she asked me if I'd be part of it, and I said, gosh, it'd be such an honor to be part of your book. You're kidding, Joe? I can tell my story. So, you know, I kind of wrote down what you want, you know, what I got in there and became part of it. So it was been great. I'm just happy for her, you know, and the way she's just a great empowerer and leader and difference maker in this world. And the fact that, you know, I mean, Reaching Higher was this little thing, and then it grew and grew and grew, and then she wanted to be part of it. I mean, she came to me, you want to be part of Reaching Higher? Okay, yeah, that'd be great. And, you know, she's taken us to a new level with, you know, the pros class and being able to do adults online. That's awesome. We can teach kids and people all over, you know. And so, then I went back to school for a year and became a certified life coach because I thought, you know, in this stage of my life with being kind of semi-retired and still traveling, I can coach people. Yeah. It's been really, I love the intimacy and the you know, connection, and so I've been doing a little bit of that, but still being, you know, training people with Reaching Higher. Always want to be part of Reaching Higher. It feels like my heart, you know. Oh, I would agree with that. All the more reason you should too get a tattoo on your head. Yeah. A bold statement of life for Susie. I think I'm going to do that, Mark. I think that's. I wonder if that would hurt. Away. It might hurt. That's okay. That's where our miracle is. Did you see the M on your hand? I don't know. Do I have? What do I have? Yeah. Well, that's in our first session of Reaching Higher. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Look at this one. Look at this. If it's bad, don't say anything. It's an M. Holy cow! It is. You never knew. I've never looked at it and like turned my hand that way. See, that's what does that mean? It means our first session. You are a miracle. From the moment you were born, you were meant
I have to zoom in on it,
I know.
guys.
See, everybody's got an M.
I don't know if you can see it.
It's perfect M, doesn't
See
it?
the M?
Yeah. So we tell the kids that they're a miracle, and if you turn it upside down, what does it stand for? What is it?
Well, it's a W.
It's a W, for you're a winner.
Winner. Oh.
That's,
Or
that's
I was going to say,
session
or
one.
why?
Yeah, or why am I here?
a miracle?
Yeah, I know. Why am I here? We're all here for
Why
a
am I
reason.
here?
I know.
Oh my
You're doing
God.
good things, Mark. I'm proud of you. You're doing really great work.
I am blessed. That is for sure.
Being able to be part of it has been, honor for me.
We've talked more about me on this episode than any other episode, and that's weird for me. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
No. It's
thanks
fine.
for opening up. Maybe I'll be your host.
Yeah, you can.
No,
We'll switch chairs here too. No,
No.
I've never. I've shared a few things, but I've been learning through every guest experience, hearing stories.
Mm-hmm.
There's times that I sit here when I'm listening to my guests tell me their journey, that bits and pieces of their journey resonate deeply inside me, and it does impact me, and it does have a direct effect on my day and what tomorrow's going to look like moving forward.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that, and I'm hoping through this experience that others that watch this show, I have no idea who watches this. I have no idea how any of us are going to change their lives. No idea.
I know. We hope a little bit of this does.
If it
right?
changes one person, we've done our job. I don't know. I'm hoping it impacts people, because I guess my biggest mission of this show really is to be a community change agent, where we are providing the resources, guidance, and knowledge and expertise through our stories to show people that you're not alone.
That's right.
And that there are other people that have struggled and gone through the pains. It may be slightly different than their story, but it's something that I don't think we can have enough positivity and reinforcement of why in life, why we need to take that extra step forward. Don't stop. Keep going.
I know. When we find out, I think, how we're more alike than how we are different,
Yeah.
it makes us feel like we are, included, that we're okay, and that happens in our classrooms.
I love that.
It's beautiful. I think you would be in love with being in a classroom.
I think that would be.
Why don't you come to a graduation? We're going to be having a lot of them. I'll let you know.
I would love to do. I'm serious. I would love
Then
to do
you'd
that.
see a
Joe
little
told
bit.
me too about you guys have this boots and something coming up November 1st.
Yeah, November 1st, our fundraiser, Boots and Bling.
Yeah. So tell the audience about that.
Come with us. It's going to be in Milford. It's going to be square dancing and fun, but also our fundraiser for the year. And it's just a lot of great people coming around to do great things for reaching higher.
Boots and Bling. I love the name, and I bet you. Actually, I think JoJo said, no, she didn't send it to me. She showed it to me. She meant to hand it to me.
Are you going to come?
I'm going to try very, very hard, yes. I told her it's November 1st, so I will definitely be there unless my son is supposed to have a hockey tournament, and it's in Indiana the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Okay, so you might go.
They're thinking about moving that date. I don't know. Tonight I'm going to find out. I think they're going to let the parents know. If they move that date, yes, I'm going to be there, and I will bring people, and I'm gonna promote the heck out of it either way. But Boots and Bling, you guys gonna have like really blinged out cowboy boots?
Yeah, and Joe's
things?
going to be one of the MCs.
Is she?
Yeah, so it's going to
I like
rock.
That.
It's going to be so fun,
You guys are in for a treat.
right?
For those of you who don't know JoJo.
Yeah, she's going to rock it. So that'll be fun. And Troy Weidman, the director, will be also one of the MCs. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and people coming together for a good cause to help others. But the most important thing is for you to be with your son. I understand. So there'll be other opportunities.
Definitely. Definitely.
My husband was a coach in the NHL.
Was he?
I mean, not a coach, but a linesman.
Really?
Yeah. So
nice.
he's a hockey guy. Now he's a pickleball.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're pickleball. I play pickleball too.
Yeah, I've never even played it.
You'd love it.
I've seen it, but I've never said, okay, I'm gonna go play pickleball. That just sounds weird to me.
You know what? I know it's so fun. When you're playing pickleball, you don't think about anything else, and it's good hand-eye coordination, and you sweat, and
I love it.
It's good. It's just really good, and you meet a lot of great people.
Yeah, you build that camaraderie with like-minded individuals.
Yeah, just exercise.
So leave us with something positive and uplifting and something that they could take right now today and implement in their life. So you can motivate them, but you can activate them. What would that be? I love putting people on the spot.
I think, yeah. I'm thinking something because I want to give them the best. You know, I think that each one of us can make a difference in this world. You know, if we can, it's the little things I think that make the big difference.
I do agree with that.
And I think, you know, it could be a lady at the supermarket that you pick up her groceries, or whatever you do, look for the opportunity to love. I think in the world today, you know, there's so many things, especially when we turn on the news, that are negative. And I think, you know what, we can be a positive force in a little way. And anything little makes a big difference in this world. So I think we can all do our part. You know, think about what we can do to empower, support, and help people to imagine a better life, because we all have to imagine a better world. This show you're doing is I think really meant to be, because I think if we can just imagine better, it can be better.
Wow, I just got chills on that one. I'm going to leave everybody with one thought too, is your future isn't something that just happens. It's something that you have the power to create. So I want you guys to go out there, imagine it, believe it, and live it.
I love that.
Imagine better.
Yeah. Have a great life, guys. Go out and make it a good one.
Happy.